folks, Mike Benzine here, and welcome to the Friday Night V8 Supercars America's Week 3. We're back at Bathurst, and after having kind of a sketchy car last night, I made one change. I went 2 clicks stiffer on the front springs, and it is like 80% cured all the problems that I had with the car last night. It still bottoms out a little bit, going through, well, more than a little bit. You can still hear the car scraping when it goes through metal grate, but it's not, if the chassis is touching the ground, it's not hard enough where it's like knocking the wheel out of my hands. It's got to be just the bodywork dragging, which is totally normal through there. Even the real cars do that. It's also made the car way easier to drive. All the lightness in the rear end, that's all gone because you stiffen the front end of the car up. The rear end, relatively speaking, that's just like softening the rear end. So yeah, just the whole balance of the car is way better. I spent most of practice screwing up just because I had so much confidence in the car that I was driving like an idiot. So yeah, I feel like this could be a better drive than last night, which is a good thing, because looking at the lineup here, we had 34 people registered, so we did get another split just. And I'm car number 13, which means this is probably the top split. And yeah, I'm seated way back there. So Harvey Hayward, I don't recognize the name, but he was in the practice session and he was bad fast. Roy Clark, Mark Gamick is another bad fast guy. What's he doing wearing the number 10 plate? Christian's in here. Christian and I had a great kind of cat and mouse duel last night. I'm looking forward to picking that back up again. Rich Jameson's in here too. He's always fun to race with. So yeah, this could be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. 2093. Hell yes. Good enough for 9th. Not bad for the lucky number 13 car. That puts me somewhere around... I keep forgetting which way the grid is laid out. I think this grid is backwards. Oh, that's 10th. Okay, so that'll put me on the inside, which is actually a good thing, I think. If I remember right, the grid here is backwards. The odd numbers are on the outside. Right? So I would put Roy to my right. Right ahead of me. I'm probably wrong. Nope, I'm on the outside. Okay.
You'll have to stop for more fuel before the race is over. Half the field is on the grid. Five cars left to grid.
Please stay safe zones. Let one of our officials know if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you.
Still waiting on 2 cars to grid. Waiting on the final car to grid. Everyone's gridded. Green flag, green flag. Car on your left. Clear on the left. left side. Still there. Clear. Car on your left, you're on the right, 3 wide. Car on your left, 2 wide. Still there. Clear on the left.
That was close.
You've got about 5 laps of fuel left. Car on your left, clear. Left side, clear. To go, this time by. Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here. All the damage is repairable.
Car's really good, but I think Roy and Andrew might be trying to undercut me by drafting. I'm a little afraid they're working together. We'll see.
That's it, go! leader's pitting now. The leader's pitting now. Car on your left. Clear on the left. The leader's pitting now. in the top 10. Car on your left. Keep to the right. Stay on the right. Clear on the left. Five to go. You've got about 5 laps of fuel. 2 laps to go. You've got about 2 laps of fuel left. White flag this time. You have about 1 lap of fuel left. Right, Thomas. Well done, mate. Checkered flag, checkered flag. Nice run. Solid work.
Oh, shit. I'm out of gas. I didn't think I cut it that close.
Okay, the race is over. Bring it on in. Pit box in 10,
Y'all might have to help me push.
5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Oh, that was awesome.
Please keep the pit lane clear.
What a race.
Workshop items to the appliance.
Oh, man. Oh, so what happened to Roy Clark and Andrew Ritchie? I thought they had me at the pit stop. I don't know if they, like, wrecked in the process of trying to work together or what happened. And then I came off of the pit stop, and I had Stacy right in front of me. So I was like, I'll follow him for as long as I can. Stacy is faster than me. So he kind of took off, but I figured I didn't realize at the time what had happened to Roy and Andrew. I figured if at the very least I try to latch on to Stacy and see if I could get some drafting help to kind of make up whatever disadvantage I had on the other two. But yeah, then we came around on the next lap and they were just gone. And I had Brett on my ass, and Brett is really quick. It was fun racing with him. I held him off as long as I could. What was it? What was it that finally gave me up? I think I grabbed a wheel. I grabbed a front tire going into one turn, and that was it. And then I thought, same kind of thing. Maybe I could latch on to him and have him pull me up to Stacy. But I think like the first lap that he got past me, I followed him across the top, and we came down into forced elbow, and the front end just gave up. One thing I was thinking to myself is by stiffening up the front end, I probably made the car a little bit harder on front tires, because towards the end of runs, it wasn't terrible, but when as hard as we were driving, you need every little bit, and just the little bit of front grip that I think that I was losing by working the front tires that little bit much harder. I went into forced elbow, and the front end just slid out, and I had to like stop and turn the car. And by then, Brett and Stacy were gone. But then they started fighting each other. And anytime I see two cars in front of me, one reeling the other one in, I'm like, well, let's see. Maybe they'll start fighting each other and come back to me. And it never works. But Stacy put up a fight, and yeah, they started backing up to me. So I'm like, all right, I'll stay in this, and I'll see what happens. I'm gonna be honest. There were a couple times there where I feel like Stacy was moving under braking. That's kind of a no-no, but I mean, it was helping my situation. It was improving my situation, so I'm not gonna complain too much. Yeah, Brett might think about that differently, but I don't know. I just watched a really good race, so yeah, and I ended up 9th. So yeah, started 10th, finished 9th. So net positive to the day. Yeah, car was awesome. Yeah, like I said, the front suspension change that I made really helped. It's just there are one or two little knock-on effects that I'm gonna have to deal with, and I think I already have some ideas on how I might fix that going forward. But yeah, this is awesome. I feel like I've got this car, even just with the one adjustment that I made from last night till tonight. I feel like I got the car way closer to how the old car felt, and I was really comfortable here in the old car. So yeah, if we can keep moving in that direction, by the time we come back here at the end of the year for Bathurst, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. So I haven't made any plans for that yet whatsoever. I don't know who I'm going to be racing with or what. Nothing. I haven't even. That's the first I've even thought about it to myself. But yeah, I think we can have a pretty good car here, and this will hopefully trickle down to I've always had whenever I've had a good Bathurst car, I've always had a good car in general, and I always use the same setup everywhere that we go. I just basically change gearing and maybe fiddle with roll centers. Yeah, so I think I'm looking forward to seeing where I go from here, because up until this point, I've felt like this like I said, this car has been different from the old car. This is the first time where I think I've ever been able to draw like some direct comparisons in just the way that it drives to the old car, and I think that's going to be a positive going forward. I've got a lot of confidence in this. I don't even know, where do we race next? Hang on. Why is my phone not waking up? Here we go. I've got it plugged in. That's why you can't see it. We're going to Mid-Ohio next week. Interesting. Mid-Ohio after tonight. Mid-Ohio is a track that I feel like I'm better at than I really am. Yeah, it'll be interesting. That's another track that has a lot of elevation and a lot of corners that you kind of have to like jump and land the car into. So yeah, we will see. Yeah, that's going to be a really good follow-up for me, I think, just to see what changes and what experiences I've had this week will carry on in the future. So looking forward to that. Thanks a bunch for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take it easy. Have a good one.